Will the House please come to order and members kindly take their seats? Good morning. In lieu of a devotional today, will you please join me in a moment of silence? Members, we received requests to read two House concurrent resolutions that the House and Senate adopted pursuant to the consent calendar. The first is HCR 298, which is a House concurrent resolution recognizing the importance of the Vermont Department of Fish and Wildlife's Fish Culture Program for the continued success of aquatic resource sustainability and the availability of abundant recreational fishing opportunities in Vermont. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas recreational fishing bonds family and community members, offers physical and mental health benefits, and is accessible to most Vermonters regardless of geographic location, financial means, physical ability, or developmental level. And whereas the preservation and enhancement of our aquatic ecosystems helps ensure biodiversity, community health, prosperous local economies, and recreational fishing opportunities for residents and visitors. And whereas Vermont's 5 fish culture stations, commonly referred to as fish hatcheries, Bald Hill, Bennington, Edweed, Roxbury, and Salisbury, annually produce more than 1.5 million fish for distribution to and stocking of state waters. And they play a significant role in maintaining sustainable fish populations, restoring species, and providing ample fishing resources for Vermonters and their communities. And whereas abundant fish populations enhance food security, and whereas fishing helps foster interest, public buy-in, and investment in clean waters, and whereas maintaining an abundant fishery sustains jobs and stimulates economic growth, and whereas Vermont's fish hatcheries support educational programs and partnerships that foster a better understanding of aquatic ecology, conservation, and responsible fishing practices. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly recognizes the importance of the Vermont Department of Fish and Wildlife's Fish Culture Program for the continued success of aquatic resource sustainability and the availability of abundant recreational fish opportunities in Vermont. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to the Vermont Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Next is HCR 300, which is a House concurrent resolution in memory of gay rights advocate, political activist, culinary bibliophile, and chocolatier maven Terry Anderson. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
Whereas Terry Anderson, who legally changed his name from James to honor his Swedish heritage, was born June 29, 1958 in Indiana, Pennsylvania, attended McGill University, became fluent in French, developed a lifelong interest in Canadian politics, acquired a taste for Montreal's restaurants, the start of his passions as an enthusiastic culinary bibliophile and chocolatier, and derived great joy from being a dog owner. And whereas beyond the classroom, he embarked on a life dedicated to social justice and fairness for all, navigating his status as a gay man in an era when gay rights were sparse and often vehemently opposed locally, nationally, and internationally. And whereas early on, he served as the Vermont Department of Health's AIDS program chief and was a co-founder of Vermont Cares, the state's first AIDS service organization. And whereas Terry Anderson became executive director of the Southern Colorado AIDS Project in Colorado Springs, was appointed to the Colorado Governor's AIDS Council, served as a member of Colorado's HIV Prevention Community Planning Group, and on the Clinton administration's Presidential Advisory Council on HIV/AIDS, and eventually moved to Washington, D.C. to become the executive director of the National Association of People with AIDS, a position that included an extensive international component. But ultimately, the beauty of Vermont called him north, and he settled in an inviting former one-room schoolhouse in Montgomery. And whereas his political involvement began as a volunteer at 14 years of age on the 1972 Shirley Chisholm presidential primary campaign, he was a leader of Jesse Jackson's 1984 delegation to the Democratic National Convention in 1992. He served as the first openly gay individual to chair a state delegation to the DNC. In 2017, the Vermont Democratic Party elected him as its chair. And in 2020, as a Vermont Electoral College elector, Terry Anderson appeared live on national television as the Vermont delegation cast its votes for Joe Biden. And whereas most recently, he enjoyed working at the Jay Peak Resort, performing informational and troubleshooting roles. And whereas Terry Anderson's path-breaking life ended with his premature death in a tragic house fire on March 15, 2026, at 67 years of age, and his survivors include his sister, Kim Anderson Villa, his 2 nephews, and many friends around the world. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that the General Assembly expresses its sincere condolences to the family and friends of Terry Anderson. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to the family of Terry Anderson and to the Vermont Democratic Party.
Are there any announcements? Member from Montpelier.
Madam Speaker, we've just heard a resolution honoring the life of Terry Anderson. Terry was my boss, but more importantly, he was my friend. And if you knew him, and many of you in the chamber did, you know he was one of the rarest kinds of people, a lifelong activist who never lost his gentleness, never lost his humor, and never lost his courage. He spent much of his life fighting stigma and deepening people's understandings of HIV and AIDS, including serving as executive director of the National Association of People with AIDS. He mentored so many younger organizers and staffers, myself included, through what I'd call Terry's School of Activism, teaching us to be compassionate, strategic, and fearless when it mattered most. Terry lived with significant health challenges himself, but I never once heard him complain. He brought joy into our office every single day, and his work and example will live long on after us. And finally, Madam Speaker, while the end of the session scheduling has made it difficult for his family and friends to be here in person today, they are listening right now, and I especially want to acknowledge his sister Kim and his dear friends, former members of this body, Representatives Ben Truman and Mary Sullivan. Thank you.
We are keeping Terry's family and friends in our thoughts and prayers. Are there any further announcements? Member from Bennington.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We just heard the member from Montpelier reflect on Terry Anderson's life and contributions to Vermont. I'll just be very brief in my acknowledgement about how I looked up to Terry. I don't think there's much I can truly add, though. You did a pretty good job. Before entering the legislature, when I was serving as secretary of the Vermont Democratic Party, you start to realize that we're all a family at the VDP very quickly. Our state party officers, both past and present, are a close-knit community of leaders, advocates, and passionate Vermonters. The work Terry did as chair from 2017 to 2020 was needed at an important time in our national politics, and his work certainly made a difference for Vermont Democrats around the state and made us all proud when he went around the country. He will be dearly missed, as well as his wisdom and personal experience that he carried with him in his role. So on behalf of all VDP members, both past and present, that served with Terry, and all officers that relied on his insights and stories, will carry his memory on.
Are there any further announcements? Member from Bennington.
Second time. Okay. Madam Speaker, we also just heard the resolution recognizing the importance of the Department of Fish and Wildlife's fish culture program at our hatcheries. Fishing is a part of our outdoor recreational economy, having a significant return on investment for dollars spent toward our hatcheries operations and fishing opportunities. Vermonters' right to hunt and fish is a cherished tradition that we need to advocate for. Our state hatcheries play a variety of different roles to contribute to Vermonters, from protecting and preserving our environment to teaching the next generation of stewards. One way that you can carry on this tradition yourself is to participate in it. At the Ed Weed Fish Culture Station, there will be a free fishing day on Saturday, June 13th from 9 to 3 p.m. with equipment provided, so there's no excuse for you not to go. Join the more than 600 participants that come annually to learn how to fish and maybe even catch a rainbow trout. Hopefully we'll be out of here by then. Fingers crossed. Madam Speaker, we do have some guests with us today. They're seated in the balcony. We're joined today by Dylan Sickles, Fish Culture Operations Manager with Fish and Wildlife, who is representing the entire fish and culture section that encompasses the 5 stations that were mentioned in the health office. Chad Lambert is the president of the Lake Champlain Walleye Association, which continues to have a strong partnership with Fish and Wildlife and invest in our state's renowned walleye stocking program with support from this body. So Madam Speaker, in recognition of all the contributions our recreational fishing and hatcheries does for our state, please help me, the member from Berrytown, and the co-sponsors of this resolution welcome them to the State House. They're seated in the gallery.
Will the guest of the member from Bennington please rise and be recognized? Are there any further announcements? Member from Hartford?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Though the UVM internship program has officially concluded for the biennium, I'm delighted that my intern carries a passion for the work of democracy that transcends this timeline and is paying us a visit today. Kevin McGreal graduated with flying colors from UVM this month with a major in political science and a minor in Chinese. He is a licensed massage therapist. He has contributed to published research on behalf of this legislature on the issues of prison telecoms reform, data privacy regulation, and food security. Kevin has supported my work this session in several meaningful ways, from pushing the needle on fair taxation policy to keeping a close eye on the Agriculture Committee and government accountability and transparency. Kevin has a folder in our shared Google Drive entitled Crazy Ideas. I hope you'll join me in giving him a warm welcome and a big congratulations on his graduation.
Will the guest of the member from Hartford please rise and be recognized? Are there any further announcements? Seeing none. Orders of the day. Members, I have an update on bill order this morning. We will start at the top with House Bill 583, work down 5 to the next one, 657, then S202, then S208, and then we'll see where we are. We have time to continue on. I know some committees are meeting. So H585, H657, S202, S208. So we'll begin with House Bill 583, which is an act relating to clinical decision-making. The bill passed the Senate in concurrence with a proposal of amendment that is printed in today's calendar. Member from Guilford. Nope, member from Essex. My apologies, member.
Member for Guilford can do this if he'd like. So we received back H583, and the Senate made 4 instances of amendment, 4 very small ones. You can find them on page 3452 of today's House calendar. Essentially in section, or in 9773, they changed the date from July 1st of 26, because that's a month away, to March 1st of 27. They then changed that same date again later in the section to align with it. They also added a section, this is around the reporting of healthcare entities to the Green Mountain Care Board. They also added a small section that allows the Green Mountain Care Board to collaborate with stakeholders when they're developing the process for this reporting, and also to collaborate with the Agency of Human Services on information that they may already have so that it's not being duplicative. And then they changed another date in 9774, moving it from February of 27 to July of 27. All very reasonable changes, and your Committee on Healthcare took a straw poll on this, and we, on a vote of 902, concur with the Senate proposal of amendment, and we ask for the body's support.
The question is, shall the House concur in the Senate proposal of amendment? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have concurred in the Senate proposal of amendment. Next is House Bill 657, which is an act relating to various programming requirements within the Department for Children and Families. The bill passed the Senate in concurrence with a proposal of amendment that is printed in today's calendar. Member from Waterbury, member from Bridport.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, H657 returned from the Senate with a few relatively small changes, all of which the committee has reviewed carefully. The first change is in Section 3, related to youth in foster care receiving Social Security benefits. The Senate struck the words "a trust account" and replaced them with "an account," following feedback from the Treasurer's Office to ensure the language is workable and administratively appropriate. The second change is in Section 4 regarding certification forms for unaccompanied youth. The original bill referenced a specific youth-serving organization by name, and the Senate opted instead to replace that language with more general language, directing the department to contract with a community organization that serves homeless and runaway youth in Vermont to create the certification form. This preserves the intent of the section while avoiding naming a single organization directly in statute. The third change is also in Section 4, and in subdivision D2, and this is the section which outlines the activities a certified unaccompanied youth may engage in using their completed certification form. The Senate added an additional provision allowing youth to participate in court diversion, as well as youth substance awareness safety programs. And the fourth and final change is in Section 17, the effective date section. The Senate amended the implementation timeline for the sections related to Social Security benefits for youth in state's care, and those sections will now take effect on July 1st, 2028. After reviewing these changes, your House Committee on Human Services took a straw poll, and on a vote of 9-1-1, we voted to concur with the Senate proposal of amendment, and we hope the body will support.
So the question is, shall the House concur in the Senate proposal of amendment? Are you ready for the question? Member from Milton.
I have concerns about this bill that it might unintentionally cause separation of families, and I have other youth concerns. When this vote is taken, I'd like to be taken by roll.
The member from Milton requests that when the vote is taken, it be taken by roll. Is the member sustained? The member is sustained. When the vote is taken, it will be taken by roll. The question is, shall the House concur in the Senate proposal of amendment? Member from Bridport.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, we are talking about young people who are already unaccompanied. Young people who, for a number of reasons, abuse, neglect, abandonment, family rejection, instability, violence, or homelessness, do not have a parent safely available to sign forms, open accounts, or help them access services to meet their basic human needs. This bill does not create family separation. It responds to the reality that family separation has already occurred. The question before us is not whether we value parents. Of course we do. The question is, when a young person is already on their own, do we force them further into crisis and exploitation by denying them the ability to meet basic needs, or do we give them a narrow pathway to stability and safety? Thank you.
Are you ready for the question? If so, will the clerk please call the roll?
Arsenault, Williston.
2 minutes. Will the House please come to order and members kindly take their seats? Will the House please come to order? I would like to remind members that we are in the middle of a roll call vote. Members and guests are prohibited from using computers, phones, or any type of electronic device. Please refrain from the passing of notes and conversation during a roll call. And when the clerk calls your name, please answer in a loud and clear voice so the clerk can accurately record your votes. The question is, shall the House concur in the Senate proposal of amendment? Will the clerk please continue to call the roll?
Austin of Colchester.
Madam Speaker, could you clarify what we're voting on now? I'm confused because it seems like two different things. So could you clarify for me what the vote is on?
The question is on House Bill 657, which is an act relating to various programming and requirements within the Department for Children and Families. Shall the House concur in the Senate proposal of amendment? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Austin of Colchester. Bailey of Hyde Park. Bartholomew of Heartland. Bartley of Fairfax. Rebecca of Winooski. Byron of Virgins. Bishop of Colchester. Black of Essex. Bloomley of Burlington. Boston of Westminster. Bosch of Clarendon. Put-in-Berry City. Boyden of Cambridge. Brady of Williston. Brannigan of Georgia. Brigham of St. Albans Town. Brown of Richmond. Burdett of West Rutland. Burke of Brattleboro. Burkhardt of South Burlington. Burrows of West Windsor. Berta Cabot. Campbell of St. Johnsbury. Campfield of Fairhaven. Karis Duncan of Whitingham. Casey Montpelier. Casey Huberton. Chapin East Montpelier. Charlton of Chester. Christie of Hartford. Chena of Burlington. Coffin of Cavendish. Cole of Hartford. Collin of Cornwall. Cooper of Pownell. Corcoran of Bennington. Critchlow of Colchester. Tamar of Venusburg. Dickinson of St. Albans Town. Dobrovich of Williamstown. Dodge of Essex. Dolan of Essex Junction. Dolgan of St. Johnsbury. Donahue of Northfield. Duke of Burlington. Durfee of Shaftesbury. Eastis of Guilford. Emmas of Springfield. Beltus of Linden. Gallup Betty of Berrytown. Garifano of Essex. Coleman of Rockingham. Goodenow of Brattleboro. Grossland of Northfield. Granting of Jericho. Greer of Bennington. Gregoire of Fairfield. Hango of Berkshire. Harpo of Glover. Harvey of Castleton. Hedrick of Burlington. Higley of Lowell. Holcomb of Norwich. Hooper of Randolph. Houghton of Essex Junction. Howard of Rutland City. Howland of Rutland Town. Hoyt of Hartford. Hunter of Manchester. James of Manchester. Kosenska of Burke. Keyser of Rutland City. Kibble Woodstock. Krupner of Burlington. Hornheiser of Brattleboro. Krasnow, South Burlington. Labor of Morgan. Lally of Shelburne. Lalone of South Burlington. Lamont of Morristown. LaRush of Franklin. Lipsky of Stowe. Logan of Burlington. Long of Newfane. Long of Milton. Leaders of Lincoln. Luno of St. Albans City. McGuire of Rutland City. Malay of Pittsford. Arcot of Coventry. Mazin of Thetford. McCann of Montpelier. McCoy of Pulteney. McGill of Bridport. Mickless of Milton. Mahaly of Calais. Minier of South Burlington. Morganella Milton. Morgan Emma Milton. Morris of Springfield. Morrissey of Bennington. Mora of Weston. Rowicki of Putney. Nelson of Derby. Nielsen of Brandon. Nigro of Bennington. North of Ferrisburg. Noyes of Wolcott. Nugent of South Burlington. O'Brien of Tunbridge. Odie Burlington. Oliver of Sheldon. Olson of Starksboro. Page of Newport City. Parsons of Newberry. Pezzo of Colchester. Pincinel of Dorset. Pouch of Heinsberg. Powers of Waterford. Precy of Bradford. Pritchard of Pollitt. Quimby of Linden. Rachelson of Burlington. Sakowitz of Randolph. Shia of Middlebury. Scully of Burlington. Sheldon of Middlebury. Sibilia of Dover. Susie of Berrytown. Southworth of Walden. Squirrel of Underhill. Steady of Milton. Stevens of Waterbury. Stone of Burlington. Sweeney of Shelburne. Taglia of Corinth. Taylor of Mendon. Tomlinson of Winooski. Torrey Moortown. Walker of Swanton. Wazzaq of Berry City. Waters Evans of Charlotte. Wells of Brownington. White of Waitsfield. White of Bethel. Winter of Ludlow. Wood of Waterbury. Yakavoni of Morristown. Burroughs of West Windsor. Bird of Cabot. Campbell of St. Johnsbury. Chapin East Montpelier. Christie of Hartford. Dodge of Essex. Donahue of Northfield. Ghostland of Northfield. Hedrick of Burlington. Hoyt of Hartford. Kibble of Woodstock. Lally of Shelburne. Lamont of Morristown. Logan of Burlington. Sheldon of Middlebury.
For purpose of explanation, member from Berry City.
Madam Speaker, at 15 years old, I did not receive medical care, mental health care, food assistance, access to education, and so many other necessary reports because I was an unaccompanied youth. This is one of the most important and necessary bills that we have passed this biennium for myself and for so many of the kids who are suffering in Berry City.
Member from Waterbury.
Madam Speaker, may I explain my vote?
You may.
Madam Speaker, this bill only helps youth who have already lost the help of whatever family they may have had.
Members, please listen to the results of your vote. Those voting yes, 133. Those voting no, 2. The ayes have it, and you have concurred in the Senate proposal of amendment. Up next is Senate Bill 202, which is an act relating to portable solar energy generation devices. The Senate concurred in the House proposal of amendment with a further proposal of amendment that is printed in today's calendar. And the member from Manchester will be moving to concur with a further proposal of amendment thereto. But first, to explain the Senate proposal of amendment to the House proposal of amendment, member from Weston.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Senate changed two small parts of this bill. You will recall this is the plug-in solar bill, otherwise known as the plug-in photovoltaic device bill, because these devices will likely be used by renters as they are in Europe. There's a section on landlord rights, and because this is mostly a safety bill, there's all kinds of standards put out by Underwriter Laboratory and other organizations. The original bill had a comprehensive veto by the landlords. It said no tenant shall install a plug-in photovoltaic device without the landlord's permission. The Senate changed it to a tenant shall not perform or hire someone to perform electrical work on the premises for the installation of a plug-in photovoltaic device without the landlord's permission. A landlord shall not be compelled to perform or pay for electrical work on the premises to allow for the installation of the plug-in photovoltaic device. So in effect, this has the same effect that with the devices as they are currently, because they require electrical work. They require a dedicated circuit and a specific receptacle and other things. So in effect, as the technology exists now, this is not a substantive change. The Senate made this alteration in the hopes that in future years, the devices will get better and have power control systems that essentially make them like an appliance that you just plug into any outlet. So if that occurs in the future and they are still covered by Underwriter Laboratory standards and are deemed safe, then the tenant can plug them in without a landlord veto. The second section was related to minimum mandatory efficiency standards for appliances in general. I'm sure you all recall that Section 5 amends 9 VSA 2795, the statute that lists the appliances covered by Vermont's appliance efficiency standards. Subsection 6 of this list already states that the Commissioner of Public Service shall include the rules on appliance efficiency, any products listed on the federal appliance efficiency list in 10 CFR sections 430 and 431, as those provisions existed on January 19th, 2017. Our bill changed the date from 2017 to January 19th, 2025, in order to capture updates to the list made at the federal level. The Senate added a new category to this list of electric motors. These electric motors didn't make it all the way through federal rulemaking. They made it right to the last step, but not across the finish line. The Senate added in language to include these electric motors, and you're about to hear an amendment to remove them. So those were the only two sections of the bills that were in the bill that was changed.
And now the member from Manchester offers a further proposal of amendment thereto that is printed in today's calendar. Member from Manchester.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, as you just heard, the Senate had proposed adding a small subset of electric motors to the appliance efficiency language that the House passed. And these ESEMs, they're a small subset of very low horsepower motors that are typically found in fans, compressors, in refrigerators and HVAC equipment and pumps. They are ubiquitous. And because we had conflicting testimony about whether it was a good idea to include them or not, the House Committee on Energy is proposing that we strike that new language from the Senate. So you can find my amendment on page 3474 of the House calendar. And essentially, if you go back and look at the Senate proposal amendment and then compare it to the amendment that you see proposed in today's calendar, you'll simply see that electric motors have been removed. And we don't think we should include them at this time. And this proposed amendment, our committee took a straw poll and voted to support it 9-0. And so we hope the House will support this amendment as well.
So the question is, shall the House concur in the Senate proposal of amendment to the House proposal of amendment with further proposal of amendment thereto as offered by the member from Manchester? Are you ready for the question? Member from St. Johnsbury?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I get something clarified by the Senate amendment?
Do you wish to interrogate the member from Weston?
Yes, I guess.
The member from Weston is interrogated.
I just want it clarified, when the tenant provides a 10-day notice to the landlord, how is that notice submitted to the landlord?
I don't know if we stipulated. So we did not stipulate in the bill like how that will be communicated.
I feel like that's an important part to know how that notice will be submitted.
Well, that there is, it's not in the bill as right now. So
Is there any documentation that the landlord received the notice?
no.
Madam Speaker, can we get a recess, please?
The House will stand in recess until for about approximately 5 minutes. Will the House please come to order and members kindly take their seats? Just a reminder to members, we are on Bill 202. We are in the middle of debate. Member from Weston.
I'd like to yield to the member from Manchester.
Member from Manchester.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. And we actually appreciate the question. It's a good one, and it's something that our committee did spend time talking about, trying to balance the interest of tenants who really might be excited about using one of these devices and the interests of landlords who want to make sure that tenants aren't, rewiring their units or installing devices that might be unsafe or without the landlord's permission. And so when we were originally working on the bill, we did take quite a bit of testimony from this. We heard from the Landlords Association. We have actually folks on our committee who are keenly interested in this issue. And we felt we came to a good compromise, which was that we decided not to try to legislate with some sort of exhaustive list the way that tenants and landlords communicate with each other. And I think that might have been one of the members' concerns. So if you send an email, if you leave a voicemail, if you send a letter, it's easy for one side or the other to say, gosh, I didn't get the email, or geez, I didn't get your voicemail. And so we decided to leave that area of kind of tenant-landlord communication to the tenants and the landlords. The real stopper here, and I think this really gets to the underlying question, is that right now, these devices cannot be installed. If we pass this bill, these devices cannot be installed without requiring an electrician and a dedicated circuit. So if we pass this bill, we will have important safety considerations in place, and any tenant that wants to do this is going to have to hire an electrician and make sure it's on a dedicated circuit. And the bill specifically says you cannot do that without landlord permission. So setting aside the issue of how the landlord and the tenant might communicate with each other, if a tenant were to go ahead and install one of these units right now without landlord permission, they would be in violation of their lease.
I want to thank you for the clarification. I'm all set.
So the question is, shall the House concur in the Senate proposal of amendment to the House proposal of amendment with further proposal of amendment thereto as offered by the member from Manchester? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. And you have concurred in the Senate proposal of amendment to the House proposal of amendment with further amendment thereto. Up next is Senate Bill 208, which is an act relating to standards for law enforcement identification. Please listen to the third reading of the bill.
S208, an act relating to standards for law enforcement identification.
The question is, shall the bill pass in concurrence with proposal of amendment? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have passed the bill in concurrence with proposal of amendment. Up next is Senate Bill 212, which is an act relating to potable water supply and wastewater system connections. Please listen to the third reading of the bill.
S212, an act relating to potable water supply and wastewater system connections.
The question is, shall the bill pass in concurrence with proposal of amendment? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and you have passed the bill in concurrence with proposal of amendment. Members, at this time, we are going to recess until 1 p.m. I know that there are several committees meeting, so make sure you are in touch with your chair. With that, the House will stand in recess until the fall of the gavel.